to hello everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 266. I'm Ticketmaster, joined by.
Tropical.
And Gamer 12.
So yeah, we're waiting for RPG because he's, I guess, in the middle of something. I don't know. He's like, I'll be an hour late, dude. And I was like, okay, whatever. So yeah, Gamer's here to fill in until he gets here, whatever. So yeah, we got some which we've been playing like usual, and some news, and maybe RR if RPG shows up. So I guess we'll do the usual thing, start with Destiny, well, actually, Tropical wasn't even there this week, so.
Yeah, I could
What's up
not
with that?
play yesterday. It was not a play day.
So Tropical.
So you guys basically did the same thing?
We four-manned
Four-manned
Crota
it?
3 times, and then I guess nobody wanted to do Water Glass. So I was like, yay! And we couldn't do hard mode because we didn't have a full team. So
Oh.
and I was like, all right, time to go do some heists in GTA until I found out you had to level up, and I was like, oh well, that
My bad.
it's cool.
Yeah, actually a friend of mine wanted to play yesterday and I was like, I can't play today. Otherwise. Or then hard mode would still have been pretty hard because I think he's only level 31 at most. Did you see that video of the guy who killed Crota without firing a shot?
No, I don't watch YouTube videos of Destiny.
Oh, okay. It was pretty crazy. It was sort of smart. And I've considered us doing something like this where, right now we are basically, you remember that year the Portland Trailblazers had that basically dream team lineup, and it was just like every single player was like a superstar, and then they didn't do that well that year. That's kind of how we play. Like each of us is sort of we don't really coordinate that much as far as our character builds. We just coordinate in terms of what we're doing. So I was thinking that, yeah, would it be easier if we did coordinate our builds so that, the abilities and all that, like some players are really just generating a ton of orbs and then the other people are, I don't know, benefiting from that, or they could use a lot of their supers and that would just like work out really well. And we could just make this orb generating machine. Because the way that this guy beat it was that he used a warlock and Sunslinger,
Sunsinger.
and he kept changing his equipment depending on the situation. So when he had to go and fight the sword bearer, he would switch to, I think it was like higher
Melee?
armor or something, and then like his or yeah, maybe it was higher melee, and he just kept meleeing from atop a thing, and it couldn't hit him, and then it died really quickly, and then he had to switch to something else so that he could gather super energy faster. So he would switch to like maximum intelligence, and then
See, I always wondered if there was a benefit of like the stats on your gear. So now I'm. Okay.
yeah, apparently it does. Like it got him up to that, and he would just like hang out during when Crota's on the right, he would hang out on the bottom and just kill all the thralls and explodey thralls with melee and grenades. And because he was through that, he got all the super back. And then in order to take down Crota's shields, he would jump up to where Zaphro usually goes when we play hard mode, and then he would drop the sword and then turn on his super, and I think it was like 3 or 4 grenades would take down Crota's shields down to almost nothing. And then he would run over with the sword and just smash. Crota would go down, and then he would like smash him 3 or 4 times. It only took like he did have to fight ogres, but I think it was only, you didn't even see the enrage was near message. It was really fast. And I was just like, wow, the grenades, just having that many grenades.
Did he have
you can't kill the ogres
He
that
probably had
quickly.
the
Starfire
breakfast.
Protocol?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
so
probably
he would switch to that one when he fought the ogres, so he could have more grenades.
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, it was really cool. It's just like, oh, he just kept switching equipment. I was like, oh, that's so it does work. That's pretty neat.
So that's cool because when like we do Crota, I do like switch at least weapons and sometimes armor if I'm a hunter, because I go from invisibility build to a gunslinger.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go back.
See, I don't think any the rest of us are doing that. Like even before, like Tekken, you were switching weapons for different parts in Vault of Glass, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, there is a benefit to. Well, so the thing that I thought of when I was watching this is like he can't do this on PS3 or Xbox 360 because the menus don't load that quickly on PS3.
Yeah.
So he's going into the menus really fast on Xbox One. It's like, oh, and then he's just like switching them back really quickly. On PS3, you go into the menus and the thralls have killed you. But yeah, that was pretty crazy without firing a shot.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, even though I'm trying to break away from this game, I've actually started playing a bit more than like I wanted to because I got all the. Okay, well, I only need to get stupid Monte Carlo and Necrochasm, so it's like whatever. But it's like after I got the exotics I needed, I needed to level them so I wouldn't have to worry about it. So now I'm like playing constantly to get the bounties and like the dailies and a bit of Crucible. And it's so weird because like when you have the Nightfall buff on and everything levels faster, I kind of just started thinking like if I just played Crucible all day, I'll get the bonus XP from in matches. But it goes back to that thing of like, do I want to spend the time in this game to like grind it out? Because it's like I could do it, but it's like the time spent I could be doing other things, and now it's like
Yeah. You know, the XP in Crucible I think is a lot slower than playing Strikes, for example. The fastest obviously is the bounties. So, you know, if you're doing all the Crucible bounties every day as well as the Vanguard ones, then you're getting a ton of XP. But I think
I'm only doing like the easy ones where it's like play this
I
mode
just
5
doing the easy
times.
ones.
So if they're not there, I'm not even bothering. I'm like whatever. It's like yeah. I also kept that. I like not even tried. I'm like I kept it easy on the effort. I'm like I'm not gonna try anymore. It's just like whatever, just let it all fall down.
Well then.
But it's weird. Like I do like yeah. Like I really like what they did with the whole voice system where it's like you have to opt into it because after I was playing online with Gamer and then like after he left the party I left the party and then I was like and it was like open mic and someone was like blasting their music. I was like ugh. So then I just like went back to party like chat even though I was the only one in the party. I was like oh yeah, this isn't Destiny. This is stupid GTA 5 and their stupid like way it's the olden
man.
ways. Like after playing
That's
Destiny, it's like, I
terrible.
think this is how it should be like from now on in every game.
Yep.
It's like I'm alone in my car and nobody can yell at me and or scream at me and road rage effect, but nobody knows I'm yelling at them. It's great.
So yeah, you guys played a heist, you said?
Yeah.
It was like a mini heist.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's like the tutorial heist.
Oh, okay. But it's cool.
I liked it.
Oh man, it's awesome.
It's cool because basically it's essentially the same thing from the single player where it's like you have the setup process of like doing multiple things before the finale.
Yeah.
And then like even when you're doing that stuff, it's like everybody does something different. Because I was the driver most of the time, and then Gamer was like, and like the Lester character gave Gamer like this app on the phone to do to like trigger the cameras or something, and like he's like, oh, I have something to do while we drive down the car. So now I'm wondering like what it'll be like when we have like a team of 4 people if we ever get one, and we're doing that.
Oh, that was just you guys? Just you two?
Yeah, it was only a 2-man heist.
Oh, that's right. The tutorial is only 2 man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really neat.
It was
So how
fun
many-
to like. Oh, go ahead.
No, that continue.
It was fun though because like everyone had their specific job. Like while Tekken was like subduing the hostages and keeping them under like what?
Yeah, it's like there's this
under
meter that goes
suppression,
up,
yeah.
or like it goes down. You have to keep it filled because if it goes down, I guess they'll like call for help or something. Then so you basically have to like keep the hostages under control while Gamer was getting the safe deposit.
Yeah, I was drilling. It was like there was like a mini game where it's like you have to drill like 4 pins, and like if it goes red, the drill goes hot. You have to like let go and let it cool, and you have to like go drill again. Like oh my god, it was like so stressful.
Wow.
Because you like the cops are like already like because like the Tekken had to disable the camera system, but still like the cops are still on their way, right?
Mm.
So it's like, oh my god, I have to drill as fast as possible to this thing just to get the loot. And then as soon as like we got it, it's like we just went to the car because we had to get the car, which is like light armored vehicle from this gang that I almost got killed in, which is crazy because the game is kind of hard. I didn't know that, but yeah, we had to steal the car. So we got in the car, but then like Tekken went one way, and all of a sudden the waypoint changed. So I'm like, "What are you doing, Tekken?" I'm like, "What are you doing? The cops are there!" Like this is 180.
Yeah, the waypoint
oh.
was like I thought it was like yeah, because like when we got in the car, I thought we'd have to like go a certain way, and then it did, and I was like, crap, I have to turn around because no, we're at the waypoint pointing this way. So it's like crap.
Yeah, but it's really fun. It's basically it's basically Payday, but like with more structure.
And you can do different things, like not just run and shoot and the equipment. You got cars, the trailers are showing things like you have to steal jets and helicopters and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the game is like somewhat half broken right now. It's like I was able to log in today, but I was not able to see anyone online.
Yeah, it was weird. When we were playing, I would keep getting like the messages in the world of like so and so has left, like mass like disconnects of like other players in the lobby. It was really weird because there's just like, I guess so many people online or something.
Yeah, like Tekken was having like the thing where it's like he was still in the game, like the cutscene was playing for him, and I got booted almost every time. So it was kind of weird.
Man. Well.
Also, it's like after not having played it for such a long time, and like you go back to it, it's like you don't know how to play. And then if you haven't played online, it's completely different. So it's like you're like, wait, what can I do to get XP or whatever? And it's like, oh, I don't even know. And it's just very cumbersome and not very well laid out for you.
So, did you guys grind to the point that one of you had an apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh no, apartments you could buy at any time.
Okay, you just need the money.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and then they have like this specific heist room that means that apartment is available to do heists in.
Oh, okay.
And I
Exciting.
think you can launch like them yourselves, but when you have your other friends with you in the room, it'll like cue the cutscene and they'll all be there, which is and like the dialogue's pretty funny too.
It is. The party system is like a bit awkward though, because like we couldn't figure out like, are we in the same party when something starts, or do I have to join you? It's like it's weird. It's like you have to invite them to a game, and then everyone will like the Tekken will host. I will join his session, and that's when I'll start. But then if something happens, I'll get kicked out or something. I have to rejoin his session, so it's not really like it doesn't keep everyone together.
Yeah,
especially if we complete a
after
mission.
We cleared it, like Gamer's game froze or whatever, and then mine just like kept going, and then the cutscene played with like me and Gamer's character even though I wasn't there. So that's pretty funny. I shared my note though, so you'll be able to see it later.
Nice. But yeah, it's fun.
Cool.
It's basically what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, it's like it took over 12 months, but it was worth it. It was worth the wait. Of course, it's only 4 players, so yeah. But I guess less means better because it's easier to get a team together than 6 people for Destiny.
Yeah. And I haven't seen anyone been playing this game until recently, so that's awesome. Ooh, I'm excited. Yeah, I rented it, so I'm gonna check out. Do I want to get the PS4 one? Because I was playing the PS3 one.
You want to play
on
PS4 because I played the PS3 version. I had to find my disc because I was like, crap, like what did I do with it? Because I was like, last time I saw it was in the case, and I was like, don't even know where that's at now. And I was like, I had to do this whole adventure of finding my copy of GTA 5 for PS3, and I was like, oh, why didn't I get it digitally? I was like, this is why I buy digital games now. Oh. So I had to like hunt down the disc, and then I had to get the disc, download the updates, and then launch the game, and then be like, oh, this game looks okay. I mean, for a PS3 game, whatever, looks pretty good. But I've seen better, like Gamer would say. So, kinda, yeah.
Man.
Kinda maybe. made me wish I was playing on PS4. But I was like, oh, I have the PS4 version, so I guess I just won't be playing on anybody that's playing on PS3 unless they really, 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 really need my help or something.
Yeah, I'm looking at the crew right now. Looks like only you guys have the PS4 version.
Curses.
Our crew, Stubbs. I don't even know who these people are. Stubbs, Tiger Fox, Crafty. Yeah, no one has it. Oh, that's sad. Oh well. I will. Man, it makes me regret not getting it when it was cheaper. So the rental will tide me over, and then I will hopefully find a good deal.
Alright, so let's see, this GTA and Destiny. I think that's all I've been playing, actually, because I'm actually playing Destiny right now to record, but, I get the XP. GTA, let's see, I've been playing the Era of the Nothing New to Report, it's still awesome. Let's see, I think that's, yeah, I haven't been really, see, it's like, I keep wanting to play all this other stuff, but it's like, I had a bandwidth cap issue, I don't want to talk about it, whatever, it's past the time of the month where it resets, so I finally have bandwidth to, like, stream and play other crap. So I think I'm just gonna like actually put The Witcher on the back burner and play all my smaller downloadable games, because after I had this experience, like after I played Helldivers, is like, you know, I felt it was such a good palate cleanse after so much Destiny for like 6 months, because it was like a completely different, not only was it a different game, it's just a different type of game, and it just felt, it wasn't what I was expecting from Destiny. It was just like I wanted to have dumb fun, so I guess it was nice to like play a dumb fun game after not having played one. But when I usually go to play a game or I'm interested in a game, it's usually the story that will draw it to me first. So I was like, you know, I should really get better at I don't know what the word is, but yeah, when I'm playing through games, like not just keep going from story-based game, and throwing like little dumb fun in every now and once and then, because I guess the order, yeah, I was looking forward to the story. It was okay, whatever. Well, the story was okay, I liked the game, but yeah, guess. Oh yeah, Olli Olli too. I did. Oh, okay. I almost. Wow. I completely forgot. So yeah, I completed my homework assignment for the week.
Yay! Aimless assignment completed. Well, actually, no. First, we have to hear the report.
So yeah, Olli Olli too. I really enjoyed it. It was really cool. Like Chapter was saying, like I didn't. Yeah, it's so weird like going into this blind and not having played it, because I didn't know what to expect. Because I guess Chapter probably talked about this before, but I was like, oh, this is how you jump and do tricks and stuff. You have to basically do the left analog stick like a Street Fighter thing if you want to do like certain stuff. But it's so cool, because like at first it tells you in the tutorials like this is how you jump, this is how you trick, this is how you grind, and so you do that for a couple levels, and I was like, oh, this is all there's to it. And then it tells you how to manual, and that basically just like, you know, just makes the skill ceiling go through the roof, because you basically can just combine all these tricks and then string them all together, but then you have to not fall, which is what Chapter's always talking about, when you have to basically get through the stage. And that's how you complete a stage, is basically you get through it without falling. So basically it made me reminisce a lot about, there's this old game back on the Nintendo Entertainment System called, I think it was TNC Surf Design or something crazy. But it had like this monkey dude and this like mask dude and this like dude that was kind of like Elvis hairdo, but like tank top. Anyway, it was like that because you basically, the stages, the way they were structured is you kept going and going and going, and there wasn't, I don't think there was an end, but basically you had to go through them without falling and do all these tricks and get these points. It was very similar, but like not 100% the same. And then, you know, you just try to get as far as you could and not hit any obstacles and do tricks and stuff. And then at the end, it like after you clear the level, you just keep adding more and more. And there's like a surf stage and a skateboard stage, which made me, it reminded me of that game, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then it's cool because it like takes place in Hollywood, or it feels, well, I guess the second one doesn't, because it's called Hollywood. But then like the next stage you get is this like jungle setting, so all the stages are different and environments are different, so that's cool. And they also have the thing where like it keeps adding more and more to the stage as you like, so there's like more to see as you go farther in. So that's pretty cool. But I really did enjoy it. And yeah, Chronicle's right. It's definitely worth checking out because it's a lot different than anything out right now. That's for sure. So that was cool. I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. So yeah, just like, it's like, yeah, it was pretty much a throwback to the old Tony Hawk's, because it's just playing for score and trying to get your skills up, and then you just see how awesome you are versus your friends on leaderboards. So yeah, I very much enjoyed it. So it was pretty cool.
Am I still beating you?
Probably tropical. Probably.
Okay. I can't get the manuals down actually right now. So yeah, just starting in the tempo area, it's I'm having a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's so weird because like you'll be trying to like go for score, but then it's like there's obstacles. So it's like for me, it was like a brain thing of like I would try to get like high scores, but then it's like the obstacles would like get me every time, and I'd like
Yeah.
upstairs. Oh, there's a pit. Oh, there's spikes. It's like or like oh, there's a trash can. I can't jump over. I need to grind over. So it's like you have to get your muscle memory of like what is where and how to
Yeah.
maximize my points within this thing. But then you also have to get your speed up. So it's like you can't just do a ton of tricks or you'll lose speed. And so it's like a balancing act of like all those things together. And it just is like really good game.
It is.
So that's cool.
Yay! First aimless assignment complete. That's fun. We should do more of those.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
All right. Gamer?
Just pretty much Helldivers. A ton of Helldivers.
What level are you now?
16.
Okay.
The grind is too much.
It's not-
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't like about Helldivers after like playing it. I was like, this is just another grind fest. But I was like, whatever. It's just a nice break from Destiny. So yeah, and it's fun with friends.
It's like
It's,
going.
Sorry. Did you see that limited time event? I think it was over the weekend.
I couldn't see. Like every time there's an event, I'm either sleeping or in work.
Oh.
Because like there was one that came like around earlier last week after it launched, but then the community, no one like it was going so slow the bar, and we couldn't do it. We couldn't do
okay.
the mission, but it was cool though because it was a different area than the determined location. So it was like a city that you had to defend.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was cool. I just didn't get the trophy because we didn't complete it.
It was really hard.
Yeah, I just did the easy ones. Like I just want to get the trophy. But then of course,
Were you playing by yourself or just with randoms?
just by myself.
Okay. Yeah, it was really hard. You go up to medium and it was really hard.
Yeah, basically, every time those missions pop up, like the community missions, it's like I have no time. Like I'm at work. It's like, oh my god, I need to get that trophy. But because like you also get like an XP bonus from completing it. So
Yeah.
it sucks. I can't. But yeah, the game is really good. It's really fun, even with randoms, if you could join them. Like, if you're not
Yes.
getting kicked, connection drops, failed teleports. Yeah. They better fix that, because it's really annoying.
Yep.
But yeah, the game is really fun. Like, especially when you get, like, higher level stratagems. And, like, shit is just, like, popping everywhere. Like, it's funny, like, the first couple minutes of, like, a high level mission, it's like everyone just like pops out all their like supplies and what all they need. Oh man, it's hilarious. But yeah, I'm getting some pretty good stratagems down where I could use there's a static field grenade, so you pop that and the enemies that enter it go super slow, and you can use your like red stratagems or just like just kill them instantly. Especially useful against the tanks.
Oh.
But that once you get into like level 9, it's really insane. Like non-stop barrage of enemies unless you have a distraction grenade, which is like probably the most useful thing for higher level. It's just like you just toss this thing and then all the patrols will just like go to it and you'll just run around free until it runs out. So it's really useful. But yeah, I've just been hoping to get into a group where they're random or friends, like just to play the harder levels. But like it's really impossible to get a group going.
That's sad. Yeah, I was trying to join some randoms earlier, and every single one was a teleport fail. It's like, okay, so this sucks. And then playing single player, it takes a long time. Like the feel is entirely different than when we were playing 4-player that first day. Yeah. I'm running stealth. Like I'll be running, and then I guess they've designed it in such a way that you often see shadows or footprints
Yeah.
while you're walking around. I was like, oh crap, and then I would just like hide.
You could play it that way. That's the thing. It's like you could play it stealthily and like not get caught at all and just complete
Yeah.
the objectives.
but
it's really stressful.
really hard. It takes so long. Oh.
But the game has that sort of like feel where it's like once you played enough of it, that's all there is to see.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you're pretty much just grinding to the next level.
So far, I've seen. I guess I'm not that far yet because I've seen missions types that I haven't seen before. That I can't even attempt yet because I'm not good enough and I couldn't find a party. Like the higher level ones in the community events were, there were things like eliminate 150 enemies.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I've never seen that one. And what was the other one? Can't remember. And then like in the encyclopedia it shows there's like 4-player vehicles.
Yeah, I
I
got
haven't
one.
seen any of those. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Do you-
APC.
Do you call that? Is it a drop?
Yeah, it's a drop.
Wow.
But it's a one-time drop. That's what's like sucks though, because like it's real. Like tanks just like kill it instantly.
Man.
So if you're in it, you're like Halo style. Yeah, 4 people. Yeah. And then like the tank just comes and it just like kills you in one shot. Like, oh, this is probably a bad idea to have. It's like there's a lot of, especially like the harder missions. There's a lot of like, do this and wait, kind of like missions where it's like you can't just like do this and then it's done, and then like do like the what do you call that, like the missile silo where it's like you're just inputting commands.
Yeah.
You have to like
Capture the
defend the
building.
spot or arm the nuke. Those are fun though, like arm the nuke ones. Like you have to like hold the nuke, make sure it goes off because like sometimes like it's on and it's beeping, but then like the bugs take it out so super fast before it goes off. So you have to like go back and do it again. But yeah, game is fun. Just needs a bit of work. And we should.
I have yet to sit in an exosuit yet.
Oh,
Because every time I call it down, they surround it. And it's like, well, at least they're not hitting me, but I don't get to play in the exosuit.
should play again. Because like getting killed by Tekken repeatedly was super fun. Sarcasm.
That didn't happen that long or that much game or whatever.
I don't remember who I headshotted,
That was
but it was
RPG.
funny.
Oh yeah, did you see that video tropical? It was.
Oh, yeah.
Called an airstrike, yeah.
I saw.
Yeah, so I think what was I radioed it, but then I wanted to cancel it, but I guess I hit the wrong button, and then it threw the beacon, and it just air struck us. Oopsie daisies.
Yeah, going from it's kind of going from like one level up game to another grind game to another grind game. It's like it's
Yeah.
sort of like wearing me thin.
I'm kind of done with the grind games at this point. I'm like, when I see a bar filling, I'm like, dude, I want anything to do with this. I want nothing to do with this. Every time I play the game, I see that it's like, nope, I'm done. I don't want to grind anymore for levels. I just want to play through a story and experience what there is to do. But luckily, I have some Telltale games on the back burner, so some Wolf or Game of Thrones and Borderlands stuff.
Yeah, 2 episodes each pretty soon.
That's quite a long time between the first episode, though. What-
Game of Thrones or
for
Borderlands?
Borderlands.
It's fine. Actually, so I just
Quality over
realized
quantity gamer. It's totally worth it.
Telltale and now Capcom with Resident Evil Revelations, like they're holding large chunks of my hard drive hostage because you can't delete individual episodes, and so I have to wait, basically at their leisure whenever they decide to release all of them, so I can play all of them,
Gosh,
and
I
then
didn't,
just
I didn't think about that. Like, I can just
delete
play
all
through the
the
Telltale
games.
stuff and then delete them because I just need the save.
yeah, you just need the save file. Like that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to finish The Walking Dead again so that I can delete those two and then just have the save file ready for when season 3 starts. But then I was looking at Game of Thrones and Borderlands, was like, oh wait, I can't because they're not out yet, which means that this space is just lost until they finally give it back to me.
That is
And
great.
the same with Resident Evil Revelations 2 right now. It's like, oh, it's also episodic, which means I can't delete it until they release all of them, and then I've played through all of them as much as I feel like. It's like, So more and more of my hard drive is, hard drives, they're supposed to be sort of, oh, you can read and write and erase and stuff. But now it's just like, there are more and more permanent fixtures on my hard drive that will, like, I can't really delete them because I want to play them, and they're digital games, so downloading Battlefield 4 50 gigs again is not something I want to do every month. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's so funny on like that bar graph I have, like a screen capture. I went through over like 120 gigs on one day just downloading stuff. When there's that Critics' Choice sale or whatever, and then like there's all those like the sale like 2 weeks in a row, like the Critics' Choice and then something else before the Vita sale.
Vita first this day.
I was like, what did I do? My bandwidth just got ate and just ugh. It's like 40 gigs for flipping Dragon Age, flipping what else? Borderlands stuff, or all the Telltale stuff, and then Shadow of Mordor, and then yeah, crazy.
It was weird. So I'm trying to, the reason I'm playing Walking Dead on PS4 is so I don't have to play Season 3 on PS3. But then it's been too long, so I remember major decisions and things like that, but I guess I can never really recreate that original save file.
It's more about the choices, Tropical. It's not really about the like exact same response to every question for me. It's like
the thing is, like, yeah, part of the magic for me with Walking Dead Season 1 was that it felt like, because, they often did he will remember that, she'll remember that thing. And so you felt like everything mattered. And, I mean, I guess the truth is we don't know that those things didn't matter. It seems like they didn't really matter. But maybe they will at some point. And it's hard to say, I think, is the thing. And so looking at it, like today I messed up one of the choices. Like, I thought I said this thing, and then it led to that other thing. But actually, that is not what happened. And so one of my major choices turned out entirely different. And I was like,
no.
So do I go back again? It's like, but I don't really want to do that. And then, so it got me thinking, like, like that original, that first time, the first, sort of gut reactions I had playing the first time, that's sort of locked in. And if I lose that save file, then it's just sort of lost. Like, I can't make it again because I can't, give myself amnesia and forget how I played this game and then do it exactly the same.
See, for me, it's like I know I will probably play it very similarly just because like it was such a personal experience of like I know what I would do in that situation, and like I would like even like especially like the end of season 2. I think it's episode 4 because it's like it's something I should have did but I didn't do, and I'm like, Tekken, you're such a wuss. You're such a wuss. You're such a you're terrible. You'd be eaten alive in the situation. Luckily, your homie Kenny's there to save the day like always, which is why we didn't kill him.
But I'm wondering if they're going to try to, come up with some solution where you can import PS3 saves over to PS4 for Season 3. Because that seems like something they should do.
I would love it if they do that.
That would be really great. Or, they might take the view of, well, what Tekken was saying. It's like, only the major decisions matter. And so they'll just be like, well, then it's pretty easy for people to just do them over again.
Like Mass Effect style, like storybook of this is
we're
story.
do it that way.
What's happened so far? What did you do? You terrible, terrible person.
Yeah. So something. Guess we'll see. They announced it, right? Season 3?
I don't know.
No,
No, not yet.
I don't think
Okay.
so. I thought I heard that they were working on it, but then they didn't announce anything.
Oh, okay. I guess they're busy these days.
Are they still? Do you still think they're gonna do Clementine?
I think so. I actually think she's going to die. Because that's a very Walking Dead thing to happen. And, it's not like before. Like, the Walking Dead comic book, they like to kill people that you like. And it's sort of a guess for them. And maybe they get fan letters and stuff. It's like, oh, okay, this is a character that everyone likes. And so they're going to die. And it's going to be impactful and awesome. And with Clementine, like, they have built it in such a way that except for RPG, I don't know anyone who's like, oh, I don't care for Clementine at all.
In the character. Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, for
Everyone
me, it's like,
is
I don't know why
invested
they
in
would do that,
Clementine
though,
now.
because that would make so many people so
To
angry.
hurt you, to hurt everyone.
But then, like, especially after, like, season 2 just felt like it was just without a theme besides survival. So it's like, if they do that, it's like, well, then what was even the point? Because now you're dead.
Exactly. That's like
That's what the
thing of
Walking Dead
Walking Dead. Yeah.
So I feel like, I don't know if they're going to do it immediately, but it feels right. Like they would.
Like, I could see them doing it eventually, but not in season 2. Like, that just
It is an opportunity that they have created and really doesn't exist elsewhere. It's like we have created a beloved character and we know she's beloved because she is. I mean, people say, yeah, that was me. This is my Clementine. So it's just, yes, ripe with possibilities.
But then doesn't that kind of like, I mean, artistic integrity inside, like, that kind of is like a deception of the audience when it's like you're playing a game that's choice-based and then your choice is taken away when it's like, or I guess you don't have any choice in the matter, like when that happens to your character.
Well, maybe there's a choice. It does seem like, because the end of season 2 was very open to lots of different outcomes. Yeah. So maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe there's like
that would be even more impactful.
Yeah, they could do like Mass Effect 2, where it's like, maybe there's one way like where stuff goes down and you don't make it back from the suicide mission.
If you cause it, then it's even more impactful.
Oh man, that would be great.
It's like the worst permeation of season 3 would be like if Clementine didn't make it out.
I would love that. That'll be like the final episode. It's like an escape or something that she just gets grabbed and like credits.
Well, actually, that wouldn't be bad because like it's kind of open to interpretation. It's like, well, my Clementine made it out, so she's a survivor. She wouldn't just get grabbed and that'd be it.
So people would be like, "What?"
Yeah, shock value, man. It's like, it'll be killer.
Season 4 would, man, the pre-orders would be through the roof.
It's like, how big of a cliffhanger can we make? How suspenseful can we get the audience? That is terrible.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I've basically been playing the same stuff that these guys have been playing, except for Destiny, and to a much lesser extent, Grand Theft Auto. Finished a bit more Mass Effect. I'm just slowly moving through that now. Got to see some old friends in there, so that was cool. But mostly I've been playing a game that released on Tuesday on PC. It's I think it's called Cities Skylines. Is that right?
I think so. I saw people tweeting about it.
Okay. It's basically... It seems very obvious that it is the game that these people were like, oh, SimCity screwed us over. We're going to make our own SimCity. Because it is so much like SimCity. It is, the graphics, the sort of artistic presentation is very, very similar to SimCity. But, I guess better. SimCity was kind of limited in scope for, who knows really what reasons. I think a lot of it is it made it less complex to play. And Skylines is basically like, no, screw that. It's like if you want to build a city building simulation, you need to have everything. And so it's like SimCity, but with a ton of stuff added on top of it as well. So, for example, in SimCity, you have healthcare. So you can build hospitals, and then the big feature of this one was, or the newest SimCity was that you could build onto the buildings. So when you first place down like a clinic, it only has like one ambulance, and you could add ambulance garages, and it would have more ambulances, and then that clinic could serve a larger area in your city. Skylines, so they took out the part where you can build onto the buildings. They just make it so you adjust the budget to healthcare, and there'll be more or less ambulances depending on how much money you're giving them. But then they also added death. So you have to build cemeteries that send out hearses to go get dead people. Otherwise, like, dead people just stay in the houses and then people move out. It's like, what? So there's dying in SimCity, but there's never been the graveyard section. Like, you have to dispose of the bodies in some way. And this one has that, and it's pretty elaborate. Like, they the people living in the houses age over time, and then so everyone dies at some point. Which is, that's not a level of simulation that SimCity had ever, I don't think. And then so things like even simple things like wind power. If you want to put down a wind turbine, you can actually, the map will tell you where winds are stronger on the map, so you know where to put them. It's like, wow, that was never in SimCity. SimCity just assumed wind is everywhere because air is everywhere, so why not? And then things that they removed from the recent SimCities, like laying down water pipes, like those are all in Skylines. And you can also do things like, so once you've created like an industrial zone, you can also make that industrial zone a district and then apply different rules and stuff to that district. So you can have, you could cover your entire city with industry and then divide it into different districts, and then those districts would have different industries. So like in my city right now, I've colored one of them as a lumber district, and then so all the factories changed into lumber mills and stuff like that, and then they produce less pollution, they pay a little bit more tax, it uses more electricity or something like that. And it's just like there's a lot of extra stuff that you think of. Do they use like
trees from the city itself, or just it's like automatically made?
I'm not really sure. Like when I was watching them build, it looked like they were actually growing their own tree farms, I guess. Okay. And then they were cutting those down as well. I was like, I don't know how much wood you could get from growing your own trees, because it takes a while for a tree to grow.
That's not something that just grows overnight that you can harvest.
But then, well, it did say, like, at one point I was like, oh, cool, it's doing less ground pollution, so I'm just going to turn all of my industry into the lumber industry. And so I started expanding that district. And then the citizens communicate through tweets, or like whatever version of tweets that they can do without getting sued. And it said, it's like, oh, are you going to cut down all of our forests? Like, what's going on? It's like, oh, so it is cutting down the forest. And so I colored it back, and then like all of the lumber mills closed, and then they sprouted back up as other factories. And I was like, wow, that's fun.
That's pretty cool.
And then I think one of the biggest problems with SimCity, which is why it's still sort of broken, is the citizens they're not real. Like, they don't have memory or anything. So the stupidest example is like when Sims will be living in their apartments, and then when they go to work, they don't go to their job. They go to the closest job available. So you'll just see this pack of Sims walking down the street, and then they'll just fill into the closest job until that one's full, and then they'll go to the next closest, and so on and so on. And then when they get out of their jobs, like, they don't go back to their homes. they go back to the closest home available. And so like there's no memory per sim. Like the Sims don't have lives like we do. They're just like water or electricity. And in Skylines it seems like somehow they do have that, like each sim does live in, or each, I guess they're not called sims.
Each citizen.
Each citizen like does have a life. So they start out as children, and then the children can only go to elementary schools, and like teenagers can't go to elementary schools because they're teenagers, so they can only go to high schools. And like if you watch one property, the children will slowly become teenagers, and then they'll become adults, and then they'll become seniors. And it's like, oh, that's sort of cool. And so that's why they have that death mechanic, where it's like, yeah, the hearses have to come and take the dead people away. At one point, because I didn't know about the graveyards, there was just tons of little skull and crossbones on all of my buildings. Like, what's going on? I look at the tweets and it was like, are we just supposed to, I mean, what are we supposed to do with all these dead bodies? It's like, you're asking me, I don't know. What are you supposed to do with the dead bodies? I'm like, cemeteries.
Okay, so like for the Sims that like have their own houses and like lives and stuff, is there like a commute system where it's like if they live closer that they're more happy or something like that?
Maybe. I actually don't think that.
Okay, because that would have been pretty cool.
Simulation at all. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Because it's like if the Sims just, or like in the Sim version, if it's just like, oh, we're just gonna go to this building and it's where we work, and then we're going to this house that's not ours and that's where we live. It's like that'd have been really cool to have some sort of like, you know.
Yeah. It's hard to say because, well, first of all, my city is really small at this point. Yeah, that's another complaint. It basically addresses all the complaints of the SimCity that was released last by Maxis. It's just like, oh, you know, these land plots are too small. And so in Skylines, you can buy more and more land plots and just make this humongous, ginormous city. Some of the other complaints, oh, the online only thing. It's like, well, now it's not online only. It's like, well, you know, Skylines is not online only. You can't really mod SimCity or in the original, and so Skylines has tons and tons of mods. But then, you know, the things that people liked about SimCity, those are all in it in Skylines as well. So the way that the different data is represented visually, it's like, oh, it makes it sort of this monochrome black and white city. And then it shows like green areas are where people are happy, and like yellow areas they're not as happy, and red areas are like there's problems here. Being able to draw curved roads and things like that, it's like, that's all in there. The way that you place zones and things like that is pretty much the same in both games. Yeah, it's so far it's really cool. It's like, yeah, this is the SimCity for everyone who hated the last SimCity or who felt the SimCity that came out from EA was sort of lacking. Yeah. I got a kick out of that, actually. I got it. I was like, wait, this is basically entirely the same, except way more complicated.
That's pretty cool. I added to
yeah.
my wish list because of you.
It is really cool.
Pretty good recommendation right there. And it's cheap. What, $30?
Yeah, it's only 30. Because it's I think it's an indie game, actually. I think this would be considered an indie game. But it's a pretty good facsimile graphically of the actual SimCity, and many improvements. So it's very neat. I also pre-ordered Starships, Sid Meier's Starships, because I just read sort of a short Q&A about how Microprose, was it?
Didn't they make a Worms or whatever, or publisher, developer, one of the two.
They published a lot of stuff back in the day, but
Yeah,
like
XCOM
that was
stuff.
the original Sid Meier's publisher
Oh, okay.
and development house. And it's just, yeah, it was very interesting how those guys started up. Sid Meier's was not really into the business. He was just like he was working. They were working at a different place entirely, and he didn't want to risk his job there. So he was just making these games on the side. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's a game. It's a book. Gamers at Work, and just like they interviewed a whole bunch of different people who founded different studios like Atari, EA, Obsidian, Troika, Microprose, and like a whole bunch of others. Most of them succeeded. Some of them failed and are gone. Oh, Ensemble was in there. It's a pretty interesting read. Yeah. Did I play anything else? I don't think so. Just been trying out my system for various reasons, and Monster Hunter is really, really hard for me because I've never played any of them before. It's just the mission I was stuck on for like 3 days was it told me to go out and hunt or get a certain like Kelby horn or something like that. And I was like, okay, but you didn't tell me what that is or what animal it comes from, and there's not a picture or anything. And I just went out. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So I went out and just killed everything I could see. It's like, is it this one? Nope, numbers didn't change. It's like, is it that one? Nope. It's like, oh, the number changed. It's like, wait, but which one was it?
Yeah, that's the thing that kills me about that game. Like, it tells you to kill something, and then, okay, what do I kill? Like, there's no encyclopedia or
it just
anything.
sends you out there. It's like, go do it. It's like, but yeah, just go. It's like, okay, you don't know where to go. You don't know what it looks like. You don't know what you're looking for.
Like, kill a big jaggy. What the hell does a big jaggy look like?
It's like, what's a jaggy?
I guess if if you've been playing that series for a long time, it's like you know what they're talking about. But then if you're a newcomer, it's like I have no idea where to start. So
I'm wondering,
just like you,
they
just
introduce
go
all
around.
that stuff on PS2?
I'm guessing.
I think there was like, see, I know there's like guides that you could buy from the shops that were like strategies on monsters, but I don't know if it was like a thing where it was like describing what it looked like or give a picture because I never bought any. I think it
like
was the
in
same.
the game?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. That would be nice and in fiction. Yeah. But right now it's just like I'm supposed to be this guy, but I'm not this guy. And so I don't know what I'm doing.
What's your weapon of choice, Tropical?
I've been playing with I think it's called an insect glaive. It's weird. It's like the weapons don't seem that different to me at this point.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't really. It's just like, well, this one attacks, and this button also attacks, but it is a more different attack, and that's pretty much it. Like nothing seems to attack me, or when they do, they don't seem to do much damage. So I guess I'm not too worried at this point.
Is there still the thing where the monsters don't have health bars?
Yes.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
one thing
Guess
that
I
would
didn't
kill
notice
me
that.
because it's like you'd be fighting this like epic monster and it's like, dude, is it dead? And sometimes it started limping. It's like, oh, it's almost dead, but then whatever.
The grind continues. Yeah, actually, I picked up Captain Toad and
Treasure tracker?
the new Treasure Tracker and the
Yay.
new Kirby game, but I haven't gotten to try them yet. Like I got them basically so my daughter can try different stuff. Like she's hit a wall in Pikmin. I think she needs to be able to read in order to progress any further. And but she still really likes it, so she's always playing Pikmin. And then sometimes, like, basically she treats the Wii U as a portable gaming device, so she only plays on the gamepad. So she knows how like in Wind Waker, you have to push the minus button to put it on the gamepad, and she knows how to do that with basically every single game that I have. But then, so yeah, like I'm basically I want her to play different stuff and not play the same thing all the time. To just, I don't know, get exposure to different experiences and something. It's like how rats learn. I finally understand why they study rats. Like rats at an early stage of development in humans and rats are actually pretty similar in the way that they learn. It's just that humans have much greater potential capacity. So yeah, I just want to expose her to different stuff, different mechanics, and different stuff. So every few days I'll switch the game that's in the Wii U, and then when she finds the gamepad, as she always does, and turns it on, there always, every few days there'll be something different. The Pikmin's a digital one, so she can always find that one. But yeah, Kirby, she's not really. I guess it's too early to tell. It took her a while to get Pikmin, but Kirby, like, she doesn't understand how to do anything yet, really. In Treasure Tracker, she knows how to walk around because that translates directly from Pikmin, but she doesn't really know the objective or what you're trying to do. Yeah, like Smash Brothers, she just likes watching the AI beat each other up. Mario Kart, she can actually play, so that impressed me when I first, like, I just heard a race end. I was like, did you finish a race? Wow. What else did she play? Like Donkey Kong Tropic.
Freeze.
Yeah, that one. She likes the when Donkey Kong slaps the ground. I don't know. Oh man, I got Wii Music.
Oh, I saw
I
that
have
video.
a rental store here. It's crazy. There's a physical rental store in my town, and they often have, they only have so much space, so they're selling some of their old games. And I saw Samba de Amigo, and I was like, oh, it's Samba! So I should get this. I was like, oh, buy 3 for 20 or something. I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw Wii Music. It's like, sure, we'll try that one out. And here's Sin and Punishment, so we'll get that one too. And then came back and
Project Go 2 of those 3 games, really good. Just saying. Wii Music.
Wii Music is not really a game at all. It's more of a toy, which I think that's why she was super excited. Man, she ran around for like 2 hours. Basically, it's like pantomime stuff. We type stuff, and so to play piano, you basically like shake each half of the controller as if you're hitting a keyboard, and then all the notes are automatic. So depending on how fast you're doing it, like it'll be like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and if you just shake the controllers on the beats, then it's just very simple Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But if you go, like 8 times, 4 times or 6 times as fast, then it fills in with all these flourish notes, and then it sounds like a super impressive Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And so, yeah, she really likes music, and she was just like, at first she didn't want to try it at all. I think she does have some sense that I am better at playing games than she is. So sometimes she just wants to watch. But then this one I'm just like, just try it. Like if you hold you don't, no skill involved, just move the controllers and it'll play. And then so finally she tried it. It's like, oh wow. And man, she just ran around with those controllers for so long. And the music actually sounds pretty decent no matter what you're doing. It was, yeah. So.
Oh man, if Nintendo came out with a Theater Rhythm game, I would totally I would die. That would be the best game ever.
Did you see Theater Rhythm Dragon Quest?
Yeah, Dragon Quest one. Yeah, I saw you tweet about it.
Yeah, I was like, so is this this is a franchise now? it's the franchise that is a spin-off that takes spin-offs from every other franchise. Yeah. So yes, in case people have forgotten, I too have a Wii U. I just don't really play it much. It gets lots of use, but not from me.
Oh, I didn't have an image for Wii U or Wii Music or whatever.
Yeah, it was just something I thought of because it wasn't, or I guess I did play it for quite a while. Oops. I guess Tekken. It's not Tekken. RPG is not here yet.
That is true.
So no RR for this week. We'll ask him about Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters next week. Because that was the most interesting one, I think, for this week. But actually there were a lot of other games as well.
I'm going to click the add button and see if he accidentally answers. Then he's like, oh, yeah.
Monster hunting.
I need an hour an hour later.
Did you play White Knight yet?
Oh, no, I haven't played it yet.
Oh, you haven't played it yet? Gamer, did you get it? White Knight?
White Knight?
Yep.
It's on the PSN store. It's an indie game. I think it's
like a horror indie game. That's all.
White Knight. Yes, I played like the first episode.
Oh. Is it good?
So far, it's like I did nothing. I just walked around, picked up some stuff, and he like looked at it. He talked about it. It's episode 1. And it seems like it's a pretty short game because there's a trophy for completing the game in one night. So it's probably like a 3-4 hour affair, but it looks really
visually it's amazing,
interesting
because it's like all
it's like
monochromatic, black and white.
It's like that CG movie with like Daniel Craig. I forgot what it was called, but it was like black, totally contrast, high contrast, black and white, cell shaded look.
Yeah, except I saw the trailer on the PlayStation on YouTube's channel. I was like, "What's this game?" I was like, "Oh, whatever, looks cool," and I bought it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So
it's like a scary game.
Yeah, it's weird because like halfway through the trailer,
something.
it turned into like kind of horror-y, but I was like, whatever. It doesn't look like anything that'd be too intense for me.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. I will at some point. It's too many games.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that Activision published it. I was like, Activision? Oh,
yeah,
they're doing something else.
Wait, not Sierra? It's actual Activision?
Yeah, actual Activision.
Oh. Interesting.
Did either of you pick up Hotline Miami 2?
Yes.
Not yet.
I haven't played it yet.
I haven't picked it up. I will.
Yeah. Oh man, that first one was so good.
I have to finish the first one though. That's the thing. It's like I never finished it.
Oh, really?
I had such a hard time playing it when you're like that old man in the hospital. I was like, I couldn't figure out how to get out of that room. Like the guy would always spot me. Oh, you there? Oh. So, yep. So I have to finish that first on PS3.
Yeah,
wait, it's on PS4, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hotline Miami 2? Yeah.
1.
Or 1,
One
yeah.
is 2 as
One
well.
is also.
Yeah.
Oh, I must have done it. I just don't remember. Yeah. But second one looks bigger and better, so awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. But there's too much stuff to play.
Yeah, especially
I guess with the news, like I'm sort of happy about some of the news, but Tekken not so much.
It's not that I'm not. No, I'm not happy when games get delayed. Why would I be happy?
I know what he's still got to talk about.
I'm super happy. Like
especially when the
Project
game has been
Cars.
delayed multiple times, and I've had it pre-ordered since August. I pulled out the receipt because I was sitting right there in my TV. I was like, "Oh, is this the Project Cars one?" Sure enough, it is. And it's like, "Oh, August 14th, 2014." Oh, what do you know?
Project Cars doesn't have a release date anymore. It was this month, and then they pushed it. I think it was the 17th, right? March 17th.
I think.
And
so.
then they pushed it until April 2nd. And the first time I was like, "Oh, that's amazing," because I'm kind of interested in this game now. But Battlefield Hardline is that day, and something else that I can no longer remember. the beta of Battlefield Hardline was so fun, and so I was just like, oh, like spurting out a little helps me, but now it's sometime May, and there's no date on it anymore.
Yeah, now it's like a slippery slope of, do you want to commit the cardinal sin of pushing this into June, Kiss of Death, Batman Arkham Asylum, or Arkham Knight? Because that might be my breaking point, dude. It's like, if you're going to put this in June, I will still pick it up, but it will not be played for who knows how long, because Batman, mother effer, Batman.
I don't know, like Tekken, you're gonna eat through that game in like no time. It's like you're gonna finish it.
I know, I'm gonna take vacation for it too. I'm gonna be like, man, I don't care. I don't effing care. I'm gonna just crack out. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
That's gonna be a crazy week. Cause wait, how much vacation? Because like Batman Arkham Knight,
isn't it like by E3 time?
It's near,
E3.
Yeah, it's near E3 time.
It's June 22nd or something,
Oh, is it June 22nd?
or it's later June.
Oh, okay.
They push it 2 weeks.
Well, that's nice then. Pushing everything back is good. Everything is too crowded in the game industry.
It's funny. Meanwhile, I've spent the last 6 months playing the one game over and over and over. Well, I guess I guess I've played like other stuff. It's like, if I just gobble it up, so it's like whatever. It's like next game. Oh, there's DLC for Shadow Mortar. Okay, back to June
16th to 18th this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the other thing that got pushed back is Uncharted 4. Originally this, I forget, either holiday or fall, is now spring of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great because that there's going to be a ton of stuff in the fall, as there always is.
Yeah, I think it's a good date because it basically is like the follow-up game to the Order, where that was the spring, or I guess Q1, whatever. Whenever you want to say spring is March, February. Yeah.
And plus, like Metal Gear is coming out September, so it's like, what room does Uncharted have? Like November, October? It's like, I'd rather play Metal Gear than Uncharted, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, Call of Duty is November.
So it's Assassin's Creed now, so yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
so it's like...
is there going to be another Assassin's Creed?
Gamer, why would there not be?
Especially after the last one?
Yeah, but did you see the sales numbers where it's like, oh, it's one of the best selling games of the year? Oh, again.
Was it?
People can't just...
Unity was one of the best selling games of the year.
Yeah.
What? Oh my god.
I think it was. I'll have to look it up. I'm pretty sure it was.
I know you're lying.
And I know I read not that.
But yeah, man, it's like there's not a lot of room, especially for this fall.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, there's just like there's things that we don't know. There are known unknowns.
Yeah, like the Division is like still like until E3. It's like, when's it coming out? When's it coming out?
Yeah.
But then I'm kind of like, is it going to be like Destiny? Ugh. So yeah.
So I am okay with that. Although it does bring up the question of, if you're looking at this as the competition between the consoles, like, well, so now Sony has, after Bloodborne, we don't know anything coming out of PlayStation for the rest of the year.
Street Fighter.
Tearaway.
Oh, that's right. I guess Tearaway. Street Fighter.
Street Fighter this year?
Capcom said it was next year, I think, but it hasn't been confirmed.
Street Fighter 4 is coming out this year.
The Ultra Street Fighter release. But yeah, no, Street Fighter 5 doesn't have an official announced release date, but it was suggested somewhere on Capcom Unity, I think, that it's next year.
Oh, well. Well, there's still like The Witness and No Man's Sky, and I'm still looking for the PS4 edition of Journey. What's up with that?
Yeah, so, but as the ones that people are always looking at, the big AAA Sony first party type stuff.
I mean, there's that rumor about not Sunset, Quantum Break.
Quantum Break,
but it's a rumor though, so
I think it's true because Remedy, just saying. How long did Alan Wake take? Just saying, if our memory serves correctly, a while. So why would the game with a follow-up do some live action elements and stuff going on?
Because Xbox One has Halo 5 coming out this year. So. Oh, and Tomb Raider. They have Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got my Uncharted this year.
When's the last time you played your Xbox One?
I just use it as a media player.
Get Ori and the Blind Forest.
I was about to, but then I heard it's like incredibly glitchy right now. Like it's bugs and everything. So yeah, like sometimes it'll just crash.
It's across the board.
I'm waiting for the Steam
A
sale.
lot of games, man. They're like coming out somewhat broken.
That
It's killing me.
is really weird.
I think the Steam version is fine though, so maybe I'll buy it on Steam.
That's what I'm gonna do because that's the way to do it. Oh yeah, I guess this is sort of news. Like we didn't know what Steam machines were coming directly out of GDC.
Oh, that was a disappointment too, man.
Yeah.
That ruined my week.
The price points,
They
holy
posted
crap.
them.
I was
on
like, dude,
Steam
for that
still.
price, I could build a effing PC that's even better than this crap you're
That's
showing
what they
me.
are. They're PCs. They're just like smaller
I was
PCs.
like, what a lie. That was like the biggest disappointment of the year for me.
Makes no sense.
It's like, here's your
I
Steam
don't-
machines, Tekken. Oh, they don't do what you want to do, which is this console prices for PC gaming.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
$1,000 though,
it-
you're good. You're totally fine. $1,000, dude. Just
It's like, there's always these articles. There's like, oh, you could build a better machine at the same price point, and then like all of a sudden it's like they're building better machines at higher price points. So it's like it sort of defeats the purpose of having that sort of like line where it's like, oh, it's
I
it's,
know,
a bit,
right?
it's
It's
better
like-
than a console, but it's like it's $200 more than a console.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
Like-
the price difference makes it so much not an argument. It's like why even bother? Ugh.
The idea is very strange to me because sometimes if you buy a PC from Dell, it costs more because you're also paying for Windows and things like that. It's like, well, with Steam machines, you're not paying for Steam OS because that's free. So you're buying high-end parts, like, but it makes no sense.
Are they high end? Because like some of those lower end models, they're using like laptop video cards and
Yeah,
chipsets.
Well,
like, oh.
I don't get it.
I am disappointed. Steam machines. What a failed execution.
What about that Titan X? The other side of the spectrum.
Is that the several $1,000 video card?
Well, yeah, the rumored price is like what, $1,350.
Ooh. No. I think well, I mean, we saw it before. There was a very stable period of PC gaming where you didn't have to upgrade every few months.
Yeah.
Which, like, in the 90s, that's what it felt like. You had to upgrade every few months to be up to date and play the stuff. And then there was Crisis, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, can your PC run Crisis? Most everyone's PC could not at the time. And yeah, I don't think people really make games like that anymore. It's sort of, I think consoles sort of set the standard. And then if your PC can muster more, then that's when, you get higher frame rate or things like that. But it's not, you don't tend to have games that are designed for the high end. And I feel like because the consoles are so easy to develop for, I think we're sort of reaching that point already where these new video cards probably aren't going to, like, you're not going to get the maximum benefit out of them.
Pretty much about 12 gigs of RAM. That's. I thought 8 was obscene for the PS4, but then you hear 12, and it's like, oh man. Sure, they could like probably push like 4K, maybe.
But it's the same game. With 4 times the pixels. It's like, well, that's so what?
That's the thing. Is like Nvidia already has like their DSR technology, like on current video cards, where it's like you could play a game at 1080, but it's rendering at 4K, so it's just like downscaling. So it's pretty much sort of like the same thing, right? It's like you're just playing at the smaller screen. Because like 4K, I don't know, it's like small screen 4K makes sort of no sense. Like if you're playing at 4K, at 23 inches, let's say. What's the difference of playing it when you're playing 1080p at 23 inches? Nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe a little clearer. Like,
It's like
whatever.
Retina display stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean, it is a lot of pixels, but you get to a point where it's like none of that even matters. Like I have to get really close to my computer screen to see the pixels because it's like 17 inches and it's 1080p. So those are some tiny pixels.
I understand for people that want to push like 144 hertz. They want to maintain that smooth frame rate, but other than that, like I don't really see the benefit of having those type of video cards. But yeah,
So,
that's PC gaming at the moment. That's at this weird point. Like they're trying to be mainstream, but they sort of can't because some aspect of it is like holding it back.
yeah, it's complicated, generally more expensive.
I know that's like the whole point of Steam Machines was to have you failed miserably, all of you.
Yeah. Okay, so and the fourth disappointing news, and this is mostly for, well, it could be ominous as a sign of the future. PlayStation Mobile is being shut down. And shut down means that after September 10th, I think, of this year, if you purchase PlayStation Mobile games, you will no longer be able to download them again.
Ooh.
Which I think is like that's like that thing where, if you shut down your online game, you not only shut it down, but you also poison the ocean was the term that I read. This is the thing that people worry about. Like they worry about, if I buy digital, what if Sony closes as a company? Then those digital games, like I can never download them again. They're just gone. So I have to, store them all myself. Or, and so if I'm going to store them myself, why don't I just buy physical copies?
Mm-hmm.
Shutting down PlayStation Mobile is sort of like, it's like a preview of the future. Everyone was sort of wary about this, but I don't think it's ever actually happened. GameSpy, they used to own, what was that? There was like a download site before, and then GameFly bought it.
Wait, the File Planet or something?
Was it that one?
It's like I don't know.
Well, there was like a digital store basically.
Oh,
that you could buy
yeah,
PC
I
games
remember.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and then
GameStop bought it or something, or
I think GameFly bought that one. But yeah, like when it was shut down, it didn't get shut down. They just said we're selling it, and then they sold it to the other people, and the other people said, "Oh, well, you bought stuff on here before, so you'll still be able to download it, but we're using this platform as our own digital store now."
oh yeah, that's right, yeah.
And so, we didn't really lose out. It was sort of, it was like a scare, but nothing really happened. This time is a scare, and it's real. And so people are, this is like our first glimpse into the, it's a real glimpse because we've never seen this before. And so when this happens, like, it feels like it could poison the ocean. Like people who get burned by this aren't going to buy digital again. And so when you have things like Hotline Miami 2 and just these awesome games that are digital only, I don't know how much of a hit, but like they've got to take a little bit of a hit from this, where just that confidence in digital as the future takes a hit because we're getting to see it firsthand, what happens when it closes down and you just have no way of getting those things back.
You mean Impulse?
Was it Impulse?
I'm
Yes.
looking it up right now. I think it is Impulse.
I remember I bought BioShock from them. Maybe.
That was what, Stardock's download service or something?
Yeah, it was formerly Stardock.
Yes.
Wait, that's the one GameStop bought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, GameFly bought
I don't know who came up, but I'll look it up.
bought.
It is scary though, like, cause like
Oh,
what?
Director Drive.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see. Yeah.
that's the one.
So I guess it was weird because like PlayStation Plus like gave out a couple PlayStation mini games when it first was starting out.
Yeah.
So those are all gone, or not gone. They're just like you have to download them before they actually go offline.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. It's like what they're on a server somewhere. So why not just keep that up? You're killing, just kill the service or kill the program, but keep the games up. I don't understand.
Yeah. I think that's what they should do. You know, just because giving people a taste of this is not a good thing for the digital future.
Wait,
People
is this
become
mobile or
weary.
mini? I forgot.
This
What are you
is
talking about?
mobile.
Oh,
PlayStation Mobile. So this was that thing initially announced as being sort of their Android store.
oh,
it's
right,
like
for their
Xperia
cell phone.
phones.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And then later they put it on Vita. And there were some really good games initially, but so a lot of people have been reporting today that basically it went downhill. In the beginning, it cost $100, sort of the industry standard, to become a publisher on there. And then you could release, and it was like pretty heavily curated, I guess. But then later, they just, the $100 developer fee was gone, and it's just sort of opened the floodgates to everyone. And so now, if you look at it, there's just like a lot of knockoff. Let's see. The way I heard it described today was, it used to be sort of the new haven for old school mobile games. So when mobile games were good, and it's like, wow, I do not even remember a time
was
like
about to
that.
I didn't know what you were talking about, Tropical.
But now it is just like every other mobile game platform, which is just like lots of knockoffs and lots of ports of other mobile games and like lots of hobbyist, like student project looking games. And it's like, so quality has gone downhill. So, it's not hard to understand why they're probably shutting it down. But yeah, shutting it down in this way is like, it feels like a bad idea. And now I'll never make that Vita game. I had a shooter on Vita briefly, and I was trying to make it very Vita centric, but now it's like, well, now that makes no sense.
but you could self-publish, Tropical. You could self-publish.
I know, if I could finish before May. May 31st, I think, is the last day to submit games to the store.
Oh.
And then the store closes, I think, in June, or not June. Yeah, I think September is when it closes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the developer portal closes in November. And then PlayStation Mobile is gone. Right now, they're not saying like, so, understandably, a lot of developers are unhappy as well. I saw some today. It's like, yeah, basically most of my user base is on PlayStation Mobile, and with that gone,
Wow.
I basically have no market.
Yeah.
And other people was like, oh, I just found out about this like 4 months ago. Or, the other guy was like, I've been working on this game for a year and a half, like regular people. And now the store that I was going to sell it on and publish to is not going to be there. Yeah, so far, PlayStation Mobile support has just said, it's like, well, you can apply for Vita developer license like everyone else. But it's not that easy. Like, you have to be incorporated as a company. And you also need a
really?
static IP,
Damn.
which people in the US do not have. Unless you have a business account with your ISP. And those cost more.
Yes, they do.
So, yeah. All terrible. Now I have nothing uplifting in the news.
And I just missed everything, didn't I? That's disappointing.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
Oh,
RPGs
well.
has seen my tweet. Yay.
I have not. Why did you? Oh, did you tweet me?
Yes.
Are you monster hunting?
I am not.
So what's Is there a way to know what monsters are what?
I mean,
Because they just give me a name and then say go out and kill it, and I'm just like, I have no idea what that is.
you find out when you go to kill it. That's kind
Wait,
of how that works.
how do you find out when you go to kill it?
Because when you run into it, they give like an introductory cutscene to it, and then you try to kill it, or
Really?
it kills you.
That
Yeah.
did not happen to me.
Really?
Or are you talking about big monsters or?
Yeah, the small
Well,
monsters you just have to just kill stuff and hope that you basically just hope that just happens to be what you're looking for. So,
That's
but I mean, there aren't a lot of small monster quests though, so it shouldn't be that. I mean, the only time you'll really be doing small monster quests are like at the very beginning of the game, and like if you just need like random stuff. Like I need like wings from one of the like mini bug things that fly around. It's like I can just get those from any quest, but they have like specific quests that's like killing 12 or 20 of them or something, so I could just do those. But it's like you really won't be like doing that often where it's a issue. But I think there's like in-game like book things that you can buy that kind of describe the monsters and their weaknesses and stuff to you. So I mean, I guess that's one way, but their little pictures next to their hunting mission usually is kind of like a general. I mean, it's not like high def or anything, but you can kind of get an idea of what you're trying to hunt if it's
There's
like,
a picture?
oh my god, Tom, what the hell?
Yeah, like
Literally.
it just said, "Oh, go get these horns," and I was like, "Okay, but what creature is that?" I just go out, I was like,
It's
well,
like
that one
it's
looks like
usually
it has
a
horns. Like,
a
kill was
small-
like, nope. This one, nope. That one, nope.
Can you click on the picture or?
No, it's just like it's like a little pixelated picture thing. It's like I don't know. It's hard to. I mean, you'll know. You usually know when you run into something that it's like because there's not like a bunch of different small monsters. You usually like know what you're hunting for. I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's not like rocket science. They tell you what it is that you're supposed to be hunting, and usually like the description like gives you a general idea of what it is, so you kind of know it's like oh. This thing kind of looks like what he was describing in the thingy. This might be it, kind of thing. So I
I'm
guess
just out
that's-
there for days. I learned
Oh,
that you have to
dear.
eat in this game.
you do.
I was like, how come I can't run anymore?
Your
Wow.
stamina constantly drops if you do not eat and
It
stuff.
was,
So
yeah, it was rough.
I would.
So there's no
Yeah,
well done
what?
steak tutorial in this game.
No what? There's
Well
a
done,
mission
steak
that's specifically for you learning how to make steaks to eat.
I guess
So
that
I don't know
wasn't
how he
played it
does
yet.
that. You have to do it to progress in the game. So.
Oh yeah, look, I know how to make food, but I didn't know I needed to eat it. Because that mission tells you to give it to another guy. So oh, it's just like something
They explain. Do you just like breeze past anything anybody's telling you when you're like playing or something? Because I mean, usually like the little mission girl will chime in when you're doing something. She's like, "Oh, you need to do this during the missions or something," or like after you complete it, they'll tell you it's like, "Yeah, you should make sure you know how to do that because you're gonna need to, eat while you're out on missions and stuff." Like, do you just like not eat anything that they say, or it's like it's just a thing?
maybe.
And
There's so many words,
well, that's how reading
and
works.
it's
Topical.
small.
Oh dear God.
Well, yeah, I don't know, because I've been playing it very, very slowly, and it took just finding that thing took me a few days in real life, and in the game, it was just like, wow, I can't run it. It was they're like gazelles, and they have horn. Yeah,
Oh,
is that? Yeah, that's what they call. I was just like, I don't know what that is, and I went out and just looked for stuff that had horns. I was like, well, I mean, these things look like they have horns, and then the thing is, like, they don't always drop horns when you're carving them, and so the first few times I killed them, it was like they didn't drop any horns. I was like, okay, so it's not this thing, and so I went looking for other stuff, and I just wandered around the whole map several times, like. There's nothing else.
Yeah, I was about to say there's literally nothing else. So you should have eventually figured out. It's like, well, this must be it because I can't. There's nothing else for me to hunt.
Can you kill everything in an area? Because it got to a point where
They'll eventually respawn, but
okay, yeah, it got to a point where finally I figured out it's like okay, it has to be this thing, and then so I was killing lots of them, and then suddenly there was just none. I was like, well, I need another horn, but there are no more of this animal. It's like, great.
You just have to leave, and they usually come back. Or after a few minutes, they'll just come back into the area.
Because not knowing anything about the game, I had the idea, it's like, oh, is it, do they get wise to what I'm doing? And then they're just like, oh, well, we'll just, we won't go to that area anymore. And they'll move off to some other area. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's kind of cool. And I went off looking for them in other areas, but they never appeared.
Well, they do. Some of them do run off if they see you like killing whatever you're killing, they'll run off into to escape you. But you can just go into the next area where they run off to and kill them there, because that never saves them. That never saves them.
Yeah, I went looking, it was like they're nowhere. So I had to wait another. I think it was another like 20 minutes in the game. It's like, how come they're not showing up?
You were just doing this all wrong.
Yeah, it was painful.
Remind me to never go hunting with you. Because you seem like you would be a liability.
I'm also not very good at the hunting.
And then there's that. And then there's that. Dagger makes fun of her sister because of that. Despite the fact she's actually a good hunter, she just tends to not be able to not be getting killed when she's not supposed to. So it's like, hey, you should stop doing that because, death. Oh, tropical. Wait, how far are you now, though?
I don't know.
Oh, dear.
Yep.
You just continue to disappoint me at every turn, tropical. At every turn.
So hard.
Gosh.
Do you have any more news, tropical, or is that it?
Yeah, after that stuff, I can't really remember any other news.
Okay, so I guess you can talk about anything you've been playing RPG. Or maybe we can do some RR after that.
Oh yeah. Well, let's start with that then. Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters. You got it, right?
I did.
Is it everything you hoped it would be?
Well,
what is it? Really?
I mean, I didn't know what I was hoping for.
Okay.
Maybe? I don't know. It's like, it's kind of, how to describe this game? It's like semi-adventure, semi-turn-based strategy, kind of semi-visual novel thing, semi-stuff. It's weird. It's kind of hard to describe. But basically, though, the thing is, like, when you start off with this, or when you start off or whatever, they don't really give you much of an, I guess, explanation on, well, at least not like during the adventure portions, because it's like it just kind of just throws you in, and you like get introduced to people, and like this little thing pop. I don't know. It's not like a gauge, but it's like, I don't know. It's like this thing with like symbols on it, and you choose the symbol based on what emotion you want to express, and then you choose which of the 5 senses you want to combine with said emotion to like kind of interact with people. So like, for instance, if you click like friendship and touch, it gives you like the option to do like handshakes or something, or you can, I guess you could just mix strange things like anger and taste or something.
Response thingy.
They said it's like a sensory input system or something, or rather. So you can kind of just like respond to stuff like that, or if you like come across something in the environment, like when we were investigating one of the like the ghost things in this guy's apartment or something. There was like this slime, or was that the one I did? Yeah. Wait, no, maybe, I don't know. There was either that one or the one where there was like salt on the ground or something, and I chose to like taste it to see what it was, and it like, oh, this is salt. I mean, you probably don't want to go around tasting random stuff just in case, but
well, that's good. It could have been arsenic
It could have
or
been.
cocaine.
Or cocaine. Yes, because it was a white powder on the
Or
ground, and it could have
semen.
been, or that. Yes. So, and then like, oh wait, yeah, that had to be the salt one because when I did the tasting with the ghost ooze thing, it like made me see like flashbacks of the ghost memories, which was weird. So maybe licking ghost slime is a good thing. I don't know, but it was on a plug socket, so that could have probably have had something to do with it. Don't lick plug sockets, kids. That's just a PSA, just in case anyone. And it's like, oh yeah, let's all go licking plug sockets. And next thing you know, we're getting sued because somebody's kid stuck their tongue in a plug socket. So, so don't do that at home, guys. Don't do that. But anyways, for like the adventure portion of it, you you talk to people, you do the emotional greeting things, and like at the beginning they kind of just thrust you into the whole ghost hunting thing because it's like your character is like this transfer student, and like at the beginning they ask you all these questions like your birthday, your height, your blood type, and all this stuff, and you're all okay. This is strange for students in a class to be asking this, but okay, I'll answer, I guess. And after you go through all of that, you meet like the CEO of the magazine company or some magazine company that publishes like occult things, and she's like, hey, let's talk after you're done or whatever. And then you don't talk to her afterwards because she ends up having to go meet with somebody else, and then you meet with this other girl, and then you guys go up to this upstairs of the school, which is apparently banned because some girl jumped off and committed suicide from it. So you have to go up there, and then you meet this ghost girl, and then it just leads to this whole thing where it's like you get attacked by this flaming ghost thing, and it's like, okay, this I don't know what's happening right now, but apparently they do. And then you get like thrown into like the battle system, which is kind of like, it's like, how do I describe this? It's kind of like a top-down turn-based strategy, and like the way it works is like you have the icons of the hunters on the screen, and you also have like, well, you don't initially have them, but sometimes you'll have like the positions of the ghosts on screen as well, and it's like, and it kind of gives like a kind of like a top-down view of like the area you're in based on like where you work. Because like the first one's like in a classroom or whatever, so there's like desks throughout and all this other stuff. And then whenever the idea behind the whole exorcism thing is that you're supposed to predict the ghost movement, so you're moving your hunters based on how you think the ghosts are going to react or how they're going to move in the environment, and they have to cross your attack paths for you to actually like attack them. And like the different hunters have like different type of attacks. Like the one girl has some magic bell thing that shoots lasers or whatever, and then the other guy has like a lead pipe, and then it's like based on like their type of weaponry, they have like different ranges and stuff, and you're kind of like trying to get the ghost to cross in those paths. And like once if they do cross the path, it usually like turns into like a 3D rendering of like the environment you're in, and like has you like attacking the actual rendering of the ghost and all this stuff. But like beforehand, you can actually the guy who like does the planning for the group or something, he does his research or whatever, and you can actually like purchase like traps and things, so you can like set up like salt barriers and like different things to like force ghosts to move in like different directions, or create things that they can't cross. So you can kind of like use this to kind of help you, like you could set up like stuff ahead of time, and then you'll actually start the battle, and then you kind of like try to predict their moves based on what you did and everything. But of course this costs money, so it comes out of your commission fee and everything beforehand, so you can't like actually go over when you're like buying these traps and stuff, whatever your fee for the mission is. So basically you're like setting traps, trying to predict the ghost thingies, and then you're like exercising them from the area that you're in. So yeah, that's kind of how that works and stuff. So far, anyway, I'm still pretty early in the game, so I don't know all the details. But there's also like this other side stuff. Like in the office, you can play like this like collectible card game kind of board game thing that's in there that helps you. It can like level up your characters so they can get like new skills and stuff. But it's kind of similar to, it's almost like practice kind of when you think about it. With the way it's set up is like you're supposed to like you assign people on your team to like be a hunter, and one of the other people can just be the ghost, and then that person gets 4 ghost cards, and then the other 4 hunters are like placed on the corners of the game board. And like the game board has like different terrains, and it has like all these stipulations with who can move with what and who's better on what terrain and all this stuff. And then the idea is to try to find out where the ghost is on the the playing board, but you don't actually get to see where they are. So you kind of have to just go off of hints based on your cards that give you like different abilities, whether it's like it's easier to hear the ghost's cries and stuff like that. So they'll kind of be like, oh, I want to go inside this empty building or something. So you'll try to look for like one of the tiles on the board that's like one of the abandoned buildings and kind of thing, and just hope that they're there when you're attacking and stuff. So it's kind of just like there's something similar to that I've heard before, and I can't remember what the hell it was, but it's like it's like a game like that, and you can do that to kind of like level up your characters and get like tech points, so you can train them to do like other stuff in the newspaper thing. But I don't know what that actually does yet, because we haven't really done any like magazine stuff yet. But it's like the training that they do can like increase their ability to proofread and plan and all this stuff, but I don't know what it does yet, so that's a thing too. But yeah, stuff and things.
Interesting.
That is some game there.
Yeah. It is definitely interesting. So yeah.
Is it good so far?
I mean, I like it though, but it's like, well, I mean, I haven't, like I said, I'm still pretty early, and so far, like the only like story thing that seems like it might be a theme in the game is like the whole, I guess, right or wrong when it comes to killing the goat or exercising the ghost. Because one girl, you find out after technically the second mission where the guy, his fiance was actually haunting him, and she was like attacking all the women around him, but then the characters find out later that he was actually dating all these women at the same time. And then the girl that was in the group was saying that, well, technically the ghost had a motive, so should we have stopped her? But then the CEO was pointing out that she was still technically hurting people, so it's like she's still technically bad, and this, even if she did have a reason to do so, it's still not right or something. So then those two are kind of like at odds at whether or not what they should be or what they're doing is right or wrong kind of thing. But like I said, it's still pretty early, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, I guess we will know more about this one as RPG gets further. It still sounds like I was just interested in the title, but yeah.
This ghost
that
something
sounds
happening.
Interesting.
It's in Tokyo. It is strange.
The other game that came out this week would be Atelier Shali? Alchemist of the Dusk Sea. Apparently it's the finale of the Atelier Dusk trilogy, I guess.
I think there's been about 3 of them. Yeah.
Has there been 3 of them?
I think so, because I saw. Well, the thing is, they keep getting like ported, so it's like
it's
kind of
different.
hard to tell.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like they each get like different subtitles and letters and crap, and it's like, oh, okay, it's confusing, but half of them are like the same game, so it's weird. But yeah, I think it's a trilogy or something.
Did you play these? This is from.
I've only played. I haven't played these specific ones, but I've played like other games in the series.
I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
I've actually talked about some sort of Atelier game in the past.
Yeah, I've played, like other ones in the series and like spin-offs or something. But yeah.
Yeah. What else is? I don't know anything about this one. The cover is pretty.
They usually are. I think one of them I got was like, it came with like an art book that was really nice. I was like, oh, this is a really nice art book. I mean, I don't really care for the game, but this is a really nice art book. So, they are usually pretty. That's how they get you. I don't know, those games they always fall into the same, like all of the ones I've played, except for like their spin-offs, which are like different with their battle system or whatever. They usually all fall into like the same, like you're the alchemist, you need to go collect things, you need to go make these things with the stuff you collected, rinse and repeat, and it becomes like really repetitive after a while, because it's like at first it's like, okay, this is kind of fun, but then it's like,
have you ever even like finished any of them? Because I don't usually hear you talk about them at length for multiple weeks.
Yeah. After I've played them for a while, it's just like, I kind of got where we're going here. I'm good now. I get the idea. So it's like kind of Yeah, because like the battle system's like usually pretty basic, so it's not like anything like revolutionary. Because that I think that's what my issue was with like Blue Dragon. It's like it's very like the battle system pretty much just cut and dry. There's like no real nothing to it kind of thing. So after a while, it kind of just it's just like oh, okay, I'm good. So yeah, because I mean you can only throw so many things into a cauldron before it's like okay, yeah, we're done here. So yeah, they're all always pretty much like that. So yeah.
All the covers look really pretty.
They do. It's usually all they have going for them is that they're pretty.
Are they dubbed into English?
Yes, they
Are
are.
the ones that you played? Okay.
I played R anyway. Yeah.
All right. I guess that's it for this week. This week's episode of RR. Next week, I think, Final Fantasy Type 0? Ishii? Is that next week? That's next week, right?
It is. It is. Oh my god, it is.
So that's going to be the one next week. So that'll be exciting. Do we have... Oh, actually... I just saw this. The PS4 Update 2.5 preview was just announced on the PlayStation blog. So we can actually talk about it. Sort
Yay! I can hear what all the awesome is about.
So the highly requested features and changes coming soon. I guess the firmware is called Yakimura, which could mean many different things. So I will not even speculate. Sub accounts can be upgraded to master accounts, finally. So this stuff people don't care about. Facebook friend search. Let's see. So some of the cool things, remote play.
Whoa. Did you just say Facebook friend search?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm totally gonna add so many people on my friends list that like are on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, you have PS4? Let's play! Yay! It's gonna be awesome. Unless they don't, I'm like, I'll have to harass them.
You have to like unfriend them.
That too. That might happen. It's like the line has been drawn in the 18th console generation for or against PlayStation 4. Share button. Who are you with? Tekken or them? Unless you're with Nintendo because they're kind of neutral, but whatever. And I kind of side with them anyway because I can't stop going back because I'm terrible. But yeah.
So the big thing, and this is even in their title, Suspend and Resume is finally going to be here.
What is that?
Gamer's
basically
feature that he's been waiting for over a year for.
Yeah, basically it'll support almost all PS4 titles. Basically what you do is you're playing, mid-mission or whatever, and then you gotta go. So you just don't do anything. Just shut off the PS4. Don't close the application or anything like that. Next time you're back, just hit the PS button. It'll turn on, and you'll be right back where you were when you turned it off.
Interesting.
Oh, dude, I could totally just crack. It's nice. Like that will enable me to do day-long crackouts. It's like I don't need to turn it off. I don't push the button.
I don't think that was their intention.
Oh, dude, 24-hour continuous playthrough of something coming whenever that comes out.
This thing was announced way back at the beginning,
the unveiling.
At the unveiling in February. They basically said that one of the problems they wanted to address with PS4 was the time it takes from when you sit down to play a game and actually playing the game. In the PS3 era, it got really bad where in the worst case scenario, you sit down, you turn it on, it takes a while to boot the system, and then it says, oh, you need a system update. So you go and you get your system update, downloads, you install that, and then you put in your game, and then you start the game. It's like, oh, the game needs an update. And then so you got to update the game, and you wait for that, and then finally, sometimes hours later, you can play your game. And so, they've done lots of things to improve that. And Suspend and Resume was one of the features that they talked about in the beginning that would improve that, where it's like, it's just like phones and tablets these days. Your game is just suspended somewhere, and then you can just click on the icon again, and it just starts up exactly where you left off. That is, that cuts out everything. It's a really nice feature. Remote play and share play are going to be 60 frames per second for the games that support it.
Nice.
That's going to be pretty cool.
Ooh, Tropical, you have it, so we should,
I
we should
know.
try it.
I didn't know who else had it. So
Because that was the things like if you're in the beta program, it's like you cannot remote play with other players with like lesser firmwares.
yeah.
So,
So we can try it out.
Oh, there was a beta for this?
Accessibility options they've added. This is pretty cool. Like you can basically remap any of the buttons to any other buttons.
Wait.
So,
What was this called?
So accessibility options. Basically, the example that a lot of places that leaked the firmware features said was like, oh, you can now confirm your selections like the Japanese do by pressing circle instead of X.
Whatever.
Because you can remap them. But like it's much more than that. You can remap
It's all about the
all the
triggers.
buttons.
It's all about the triggers.
Yeah. my friends right now, like, they don't want to play. They remapped their Destiny controls to Call of Duty because that's what they've been playing for the past few years. And so, like, they don't even use the triggers. They want to use R1 and L1 to shoot. And it's like, well, that's weird to me, but whatever.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, that is weird.
So, now you can do it at a system level, and it'll just do that for every single game.
Oh, dude, I kind of did like the Call of Duty controls better with R1 shoot.
Or you could stop being lazy
Then
and just
it is kind of an actual trigger on the R2 button.
Like, what the hell?
I guess they're adding Daily Motion as a place you can upload directly from to your share video clips. And then also trophy improvements where they've added... I'm not so sure about this stuff. So they've added the thing where you can remove games that have 0% on your trophy list for the incredibly vain about their trophies.
Right?
And then, it's a vanity thing. And then the other thing is that this is I'm sort of iffy about because, as you'll see, it captures screenshots automatically each time you earn a trophy.
Yeah.
This is a weird thing because sometimes when you earn a trophy, it's really mundane stuff, and so you just have a screenshot of something super mundane and like.
Well, Tropical, for those epic moments where you don't want to lose
moments, yeah, that'd be really cool. But
for
a lot of them, like.
Because there's games like Disgaea who have you get trophies for starting the game. Like, they're literally no effort.
Yeah, there's one for that on Guilty Gear 2. It's like you started the game.
Like there's no effort
you installed the game
whatsoever. Like, it's like you turned on your console. Good job. Like,
yeah, so that one is like, you're gonna have millions of people with a screenshot of the title screen that has a trophy overlay on it. It was like, what is this? How is? I guess it's good marketing, maybe, but how does this benefit us, the users? So yeah, that's the stuff that they've announced here. The suspend resume. That's huge. Finally, we're getting close to that complete picture of the PlayStation 4 that they gave us when they first unveiled the vision for the system.
Aren't we there yet with this firmware?
No, the last thing. Well, I don't know if this is the last thing. I've actually rewatched the announcement a few times. It's actually very inspirational. But so we have. Share button works, all that was at launch, and now
Share
it works.
Play,
And that was
yes.
later. Share play works, and that finally came out. The remote play things, those are finally working. The last thing, or PlayStation Now, is basically released.
Yep.
The last thing they talked about was you would be able to sample every single game in the store via their streaming technology. That does not exist yet. So, and then the other thing was, they talked about when you start downloading the game, like it would be streaming at first as it started downloading, and then once it had enough, then it would just like seamlessly transfer over to actually playing off of your hard drive. These things seem like magic, but those are, like, again, it's all about that vision about cutting out the time between when you can play or when you sit down and you want to play and then you can actually play. Downloading, 50 gig games is not fun. Even downloading the first 10 gigs to be able to start playing. That's better, but it's still not the vision that they communicated. So once that gets there, that's going to be really cool.
Speaking of multi-size gigs games, like what's up with that? Like, can't we just get like a 7 gig Steam like game install? Just saying. At your house, if you're out there listening, dude, what's up with that?
I guess
just saying.
Maybe I don't know. Decompression is slower than.
Yeah, that was the problem with PS3. I had to like decompress the file that I just downloaded, and it took forever to install.
The installs
that
took
probably is what it
forever.
is.
That's why just by having the EXE, just a package, easy.
Oh, but they're so huge sometimes.
Giant installs.
But that's why preloads exist, except for Type 0, because Square Enix is a bunch of idiots.
Well, maybe you should just buy the damn disc version. You won't have.
Is
that
there
problem.
no digital version? Because like the Europe has their version up on the store for pre-order, and like US doesn't.
Yeah.
There's a digital version.
I don't know.
I guess it's just not on the store.
I have to resort to buying off their goddamn store.
Why didn't you
like-
just like go to GameStop or something?
GameStop me.
That's right, gamer. That's the right answer.
But
If that's the case,
don't
why
let
don't you
RPG
just
tell
get
you
it
any
from like
different.
Amazon if you're like worried about?
I ordered from Amazon the moment they put it up, and they're like, "Oh, we don't know when we're gonna get our stock in." Like, oh my god!
God.
Then never mind.
So I canceled there.
You know that the Metal Gear Solid 5 Collector's Edition apparently sold out on Amazon in less than 24 hours, and I
I
was
got
like,
my copy in.
"Oh, did you? Wow."
Yes.
I did not even see it. Like, I've been looking at different sites, and it's been nowhere.
I didn't even
And-
know it was a thing.
Yeah,
so.
that's just
Me
crazy.
either.
It is. The LE got a bit rough though compared to the Japanese version.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but the
the
Japanese
replica-
version costs a lot more.
Yeah. But you get a full size arm.
Because that's what matters.
But yeah, I got it. I was like, oh, I better get this because like this is like
Man,
one of my favorite series. I'm like, yeah, I better get it.
I'm all about soundtracks right now, and it didn't have a soundtrack, so I'm not too disappointed. But it was kind of disappointing.
Damn, yeah.
Why are you all about soundtracks right now? Is that just like you're going through a phase or something? Or
Yeah, like for a while I was all about statues, and then
interesting. I understand. I went through a
And then,
hard
like-
phase. So
there was a weird time when I just needed bookends. And then, like, Little Big Planet 2 was like, hey, bookends. I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I needed.
that's an unusual thing. Just going through a phase.
Well, no, it wasn't about collector's edition. It was just like, I needed bookends. And it
I
was
know
just-
that's
it
like
just
it's
happened
unusual
be.
to.
And then it was, yeah, and then it was weird because, like, Mortal Kombat also had a bookend collector's edition. I was like,
Huh,
should I get that too?
that is weird.
It is nice though. It's like they're getting away from statues, which is
Yeah.
sort of cool, but it's like they're getting into like this more stupid stuff at the same time.
I've noticed like a lot of Japanese-based games are like doing those pins and stuff. Because like I know Monster Hunter came with one, and Codename Steam is apparently coming with the Majora's Mask one for whatever random reason. And it's like I've noticed Kingdom Hearts, one of the previous ones had one as well. It's like they seem to be doing those a bit too.
Actually, the Kingdom Hearts one is, I think it's pretty cool now because I had it and then I went to Disney World and there was you know how they have the pin trading, right? And it was just like the store.
No, I don't know how they have.
They have
I don't
pin trading there now. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
like
Oh.
the clerks in the stores are just wearing like a whole bunch of pins, and then like this little girl ran up to a bunch of them and just that, oh, can I have that one? And they're like, oh, pin trading, and then they trade, and then she gives her one of she gives them one of hers, and I was just like, wow, this is actually happening.
Well,
And-
Tropical, keep in mind, it was a little girl. Just saying.
They
Whatever.
trade for everything.
That's what they used to drum up excitement for Kingdom Hearts 2.5. Like they said, oh, we're getting one of these authentic like Disney pins that will only come with this game, and I was like,
Disney, whatever.
Epic
Excuse
Mickey.
me?
Epic Mickey also incorporated that into the game. Like it was one of the mechanics. It was like pin trading is a big thing at Disney, so we have that in
Interesting.
Epic Mickey. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so
Hold-
cool.
Hold on,
That's-
excuse me, Tekken. What do you have against Disney?
I'm just saying, you guys and your inability to not see from your indoctrinated through the pixie dust
Wow,
of
really?
the mouse ears
Really?
all the time on this podcast. It's like, oh, Disney.
Do you
Are we doing
do you
this right
like
now?
Marvel and Star Wars?
You can say that now, Tropical. You can say that now. Now
But
that-
Wait,
no, that's